Today we have decided to celebrate the Buddha Jayanti. It's the day of Buddha's birth. In the whole map of time, Buddha came to this earth at a time when it was so important for him to come. That time, especially in India, we had two types of people. One who were very ritualistic, trying to be extremely strict and disciplined. And the another were the people who were too much conditioned and were full of so-called devotion to God. So these two types of people were occupying the area of seekers. So it was necessary to neutralize these two styles of seekings. Buddha and Mahavira are in essence supported by Hanumana and Bhairava. That is, as you know, Gabriel and Saint Michael. The principle that took birth is the principle of a disciple. And this principle was born much earlier as the two sons of Shri Rama. This principle was brought on this earth and incarnated. One, to conquer the ego of human being. Another one, to conquer the superego of human being. Buddha, when he was born, he found that there was misery everywhere. And the misery, according to him, was due to the desires we have. So, to be desireless is the best way to achieve nirvana. That's what he came to conclusion. But how to become desireless? You are sitting in the sand, and if you see the sand doesn't get attached to anything. You put anything on it, it will not spoil anything. You put water, it will stick on, and as soon as you try to throw it away, the whole thing will disappear into thin air. So, to develop that kind of detachment or to develop a life which was desireless was his aim. And that's why I say he was a disciple principles. So the disciple principle has to find out the way and method, while the guru principle are the people who have already found out, because he has to create a way and path. So he studied all kinds of books, went to many places, He read Upanishads. Then he saw the people who are busy with Vedas and were doing all kinds of ritualism. With the rituals, they never got the realization, which is actually the first verse of Veda, is that by reading the Vedas and by doing all the rituals of the Vedas, if you do not become Vida, means self-realized. Vida, what means to know. If you don't know the divine on your central nervous system, then you are just missing the point. It is all useless for you to read Vedas. So he went into various areas of search. As today we find many seekers have been going to many people to find out the truth. And he was tired, very tired. He thought all his seeking, all his working hard, all his efforts, everything has just made him tired. And he thought it was all fruitless. So he was lying under a banyan tree. And there, the Adi Shakti gave him realization. When all your searches are over, people search in money, in power, in love and all kinds of things. Ultimately, people start searching in various groups, cults, gurus, all kinds of things. Drugs, alcohols, whichever way are possible they try to search. But when human beings try to search something, then in their movement they either go to the left or to the right. And he being such an ardent seeker and such a truthful seeker, he could see very clearly that this is not the path of going left or right. But there has to be some ascent. But how to achieve it? Who is going to give him self-realization? All that tiredness, he laid down himself under a tree and suddenly he got his realization. When he got his realization, he started understanding why this problem of conditioning and ego is there. He found out one thing, that people when they read too much and try to understand through ritualism God, then they develop their ego. The other side, he found out that when people just with some desires go on praying to God, give me this, give me that, they become mad. And when he realized it, then only at that moment when he was tired, he got his realization. This is exactly what is happening today in the modern times. That those who were seekers have been seeking the divine on the left and right hand side. Nowadays they are jogging. I don't know what they are going to achieve through jogging. They are jogging like mad. Then they are ardent Christians, ardent Muslims, fighting the whole world for their religion, for their God, for in the name of Muhammad Sahib, in the name of Krishna, in the name of everything. Then they think their religion is in danger. I mean, it is not. Neither the prophets nor the incarnations, nobody is in danger. Not at all. How can they be? And no religion, if it is true religion, can be in danger. But this he only realized after his realization. But his followers who came, did not see the point that ultimately it is self-realization is talking. Actually took all the care to see that people should get their self-realization first, then anything else. First of all, he said, you are not going to worship me. As you know, we don't allow people to come for my puja unless and until they are fully established in Sahaja. So he first said that you should be fully established in your self-realization. That's all. He would not talk about God. Because once you start talking about God, then he saw all these horrible religions coming up in the name of God. When I first came to America, you'll be surprised, I did not talk of God. I did not talk of bhoots. I did not talk of any religion. I just talked about self-realization. The reason was, I thought, if you get your self-realization, then you will understand the rest of it. But no use talking to you about God or about divine, because first thing is you must have your eyes, you must have the light. Otherwise, what's the use of talking about these things? But it so happened that Buddha did not give anybody realization. So it was all right for him to talk about the spirit and not about God or any religion. To such an extent that people said that Buddha was an atheist. He did not believe in God. No, it was a matter of his policy that he did not want to talk about God. But what I found when I came to America, that this world is full of all kinds of things. Firstly, the tremendous ego that they have. And secondly, they are so much conditioned. There were so many witchcrafts and forces. I mean, openly they are saying this is a witchcraft school. Openly. Or this is a satanic powers school. All kinds. I was surprised, openly saying like that. And when I came to San Diego first, because I came on my own, and the people who invited me had an organization called Parapsychology. It was all bhoot, huh? So they took me down, and huge big hall, and there were lots of people sitting down. And I saw all the booths. I said, now what should I do? Should I say the truth or not? They might start getting angry with me. But I said better to tell them, because once they are lost in the booths, then what will I do with them? So I told them this is all wrong, this is all bhutish, it is all nonsense. You just don't follow prey to all these things, this is not correct, you better get your realization. And see, some people did get realization, and some people did leave that organization. Now, last time when I came, I discovered in '83 that the lady who was in charge sort of a person has become mad. And the gentleman who was organizing all that has become bankrupt and has gone to Australia. And the building has collapsed. The boots must have done the job.